You're listening to Castle Talk Radio. We're live on the airwaves with Becca and Jessica.
Hey friends, today we are talking about Universal Studios Hollywood, and I want to let you know that if you look in the show notes, you will be able to get a free Universal in One Day Park plan. Simply go to the link below or visit castletalkradio.com and then click on freebies. Hey Jessica, you grew up farther north from Disneyland around some different theme parks, Six Flags being one of them. And you were also closer to Universal Studios Hollywood than you were to Disneyland. Did you go there a lot?
So we did go there when family would come into town. Like our theme park visits were kind of limited to that, except for at Magic Mountain, Six Flags, we would go all the time. But I spent a lot of time at Universal City Walk and then a lot of time at Universal Studios Hollywood, favorites being E.T. and Back to the Future. So it's time to go back.
Yeah, you definitely need to go back and take your kids. I think they would have a blast there. We went last summer with my kids. I've gone a couple times with Getaway Today on some trips, but I also took my kids last summer and it was great. And it was a perfect add-on to our Disneyland vacation. And you can basically do the whole park in one day if you do it right.
Okay, that's perfect because I am planning to take my kids and a couple extras this summer. So, where do I ride E.T. and where do I ride Back to the Future?
Sorry, you're not going to. If you want
to, those would be in Orlando. Well, actually, one of them.
Oh, one of them. They don't even have Back to the Future.
Seriously.
So that's the sad part, but there are lots of great rides still that you can do and lots of fun things. So we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to talk about it in the order that I think people should do things, but also giving you guys some tips that you will want to know. All right. So to start out, Universal Studios Hollywood. The first thing I want to say, though, is they are having a big celebration this summer. So if you're going this summer, they're doing their 60th anniversary of the studio tour. So you'll definitely want to make sure you plan that
studio tour.
I love it too. It's one of my favorite things there. Okay, so if you're going, there's things let's talk about some of the areas. There's the Super Nintendo World that just opened last year, and I've been there 3 times now into that. There is the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is there, a smaller version than Orlando, but there is one. There is the backlot tour area, and there's a few other places too. So we're going to talk about it. But the big thing to know about Universal is it's divided into an upper lot and a lower lot. This is a working studio. So sometimes you'll have areas that are blocked off because they're working on something for a movie or TV show, especially on the studio tour, but it is, so it's kind of spread weird than a normal theme park.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's the first thing to know. So when you're planning your day, you need to strategize to separate it by lower lot and upper lot because it is a trek from the two. You're going down a very steep hill. There's escalators, but you are not going to just be running back and forth between these two areas. Okay.
Yeah, almost similar to park hopping at Disneyland, but not. At one point, I don't know if this still stands, but that escalator was the longest escalator in the world. So it is, like you said, it is a trek. I am very familiar with those, but everything down in the lower lot is pretty much totally new to me. So starting my day, is that where I want to go?
Yes. So what you want to do is you actually want to first purchase your discount tickets through our partners at Getaway Today, and you're going to want to also purchase the ones that include Express Pass. So Express Pass is their version of Lightning Lane or Knott's Fast Lane. It is quite expensive. It's around the same price as your ticket, but it gets you to you can use it on every ride once throughout the day that accepts it. There's not very many rides that don't use it. Almost every ride does. So you're going to want that if you're only spending one day. It is worth the investment. after you purchase that ticket through Getaway Today, which you can get our special pricing on it by going to getawaytoday.com/Castle Talk. No spaces, no dashes in Castle Talk, because we have worked out special pricing for you guys for Disneyland, Universal, Knott's Berry Farm tickets. So you're going to want to use that link, and we'll also have it down in the show notes. But once you do that, you're going to go to Universal's website and you are going to purchase early access for Super Nintendo World. So this is kind of like early entry, but they're actually giving you a full hour and sometimes more.
All right, let's do it.
So, all right, so you're going to buy that. And that's going to get you into Super Nintendo World an hour before park opening, which is huge because this is it's a very compact land, first of all, and it is the most popular land right now. So you're going to want to do that. And we'll have to do another episode sometime about all the little different things, but you're going to want to be there. You're going to want to arrive at the park as soon as parking opens, which is about an hour before early access. So our early access was at 7. We were at the parking lot at 6 a.m.
Got it.
And then we got in line, and at 6:30, they walked us down. So I was actually in Super Nintendo World 15 minutes before early access was technically supposed to start.
Okay, good to know. Okay, so we're going to get all those teenagers to bed early the night before.
Yes.
And we're going to get up and we're going to do this. All these Disneyland skills transfer over really well because we already know about rope drop. So this is perfect.
Definitely. Okay, so you're going to do that. And I can't go into the last strategy on that. I do have an early entry strategy on my website. I will link that down below. It's free for you to use. The next thing you're going to do is as soon as you finish that, you're going to finish the lower lot. So down in the lower lot, you have the Jurassic World ride.
Yes, super excited about that.
The one with the big drop. It's lots of fun. You don't get super wet unless you're on the edge. Well, if you're on the edges, you'll get really wet.
Okay.
It's not as wet as like going on Splash Mountain where you're
so I can handle it. And it's in the morning. It's in summer. We'll dry off.
Yeah. And if not, wear ponchos. It's fine.
Okay.
Also down there is the Mummy 3D. This is definitely a high thrill ride that my oldest liked it but didn't want to do it a second time, and he's my more
I do remember going on that.
Okay, I remember it when it was a walkthrough experience and they'd have like things that would be hidden and come out at you and would come to life, but very interesting, right? Yeah. Okay, and then also down there they have Transformers 3D, which I guess I kind of compare it to Star Tours. All of my family liked it. I personally did not ride it just because of motion sickness. But it's really great. Also down there, you can meet some of the Transformers. And so it's just a fun little area. You should be able.
Can we go back to Super Nintendo World for a second?
Yeah.
Or even, I guess, anywhere. What's the breakfast situation? Like, am I going to be eating down there? Do I need to bring a breakfast?
So I would definitely suggest having some like quick food items that you eat maybe on the way to the park. They're a lot more strict with bringing in food than Disneyland.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask that.
But Super Nintendo World does not have a breakfast option. There's the Toadstool Cafe inside of there doesn't start till lunch.
Okay.
And you'll want to go read my Super Nintendo World article if you're going there, because there's a lot of stuff we just can't cover in this episode.
Okay.
But right next to Super Nintendo World is a Jurassic Park themed restaurant, and it does serve breakfast.
Okay.
So I did get breakfast there last year when I went with my family. And this is one thing that's really interesting about Universal too, is you will find food places that you find elsewhere, I guess is how I should say it. There's a Panda Express down on the lower lot. There's all these things so that I knew my kids would eat it.
Sure.
Like they love Panda Express.
They've already tried it or whatever.
Yeah. So you're going to finish that lower lot. Hopefully by lunchtime, you're going to come to the upper lot. And at the top of the upper lot is the Hollywood Studios tour and also the Simpsons land. So you could like ride the Simpsons ride really quick if you want to. But the Hollywood tram tour, do not skip the backlot tour. It is it's the most unique thing you'll get. And it does allow you, it's about 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes long, depending on if the whole thing's available. Because like I said, this last time I went, a lot of areas were not available because of projects, movies, and video and TV shows
Okay.
that were filming. But when I went in the summer, the whole thing was available because obviously most of the time they're not filming shows then. And it was much longer, but you can take food and drink, but there's no bathroom stops. So just be aware of that.
Yes, good point.
Um, and then this year to celebrate the 60th, they actually have some photo ops set up, so you'll be able to get out of the tram and take some photos. Like I've
So
seen it with
cool.
the Bates Hotel and the Psycho
Love it.
House. People have been able to take
Love that.
pictures.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's really great. Um, Also in the after that you do that, then you're gonna have a little time to explore the area in where you'll find things like the Minions ride and the Secret Lives of Pets and all of that kind of stuff. There's a lot to do there. I always suggest ending the ride sections with the Harry Potter area.
Okay, so that's not like something you want to get to super fast because we have the
No.
express pass. So,
Right. You have Express Pass, so you'll be using that.
okay,
And the reason is just the rides are more spread out than Disneyland. And so if you're trying to in Disneyland, you can kind of move around between lands a little easier. But if you're trying to hop, you need to go in an order up at Universal, or you're going to not have time
got
to
it.
do it all, especially in one day. So you're going to want to kind of move strategically up you're going to do that lower lot, come up and work your way back towards the front of the upper lot.
Hmm.
And so you'll be doing things like there is the Secret Life of Pets, and then the Minions Mayhem is over there. Also, though, in that area, they have a little splash and water play area, and they have from Despicable Me the Super Silly Fun Land. Remember what
Cute.
he takes in there? So
Love
that's
it.
where all the splash stuff is. And they have changing rooms and all that. So you'll want to bring
Ooh.
swim clothes for your kids. They do have to wear some type of shoe in the
Hmm.
splash area. So either flip-flops or a water shoe or water sandals, something.
Gotcha.
And it's a great place to be in the afternoon when it's really hot. And then, of course, work your way through, do the Harry Potter
Okay.
area. It has,
So with Harry Potter, like there is, even though it's been so long since I've been to Universal, there is something that I know that I think is really important for other people to know. It's that Hagrid is a dude. So you should know that. And
yes,
that's a little inside joke. So Becca,
yes.
you can tell them how
Yeah,
you.
so Jessica has never read or watched Harry Potter. Can you believe that? I can't. And so when we went to the one in Orlando, you can actually ride Hogwarts. So you cannot ride it at Universal Hollywood. But Hagrid showed up and we're like, oh, it's Hagrid. And she's like, wait, Hagrid's a guy? Because
So
she'd only heard
yes,
things.
everyone definitely knows more than me. But in case someone didn't know, I thought that'd be important.
Yeah. So you cannot ride Hogwarts here, but they do have the train pulled up where you can take pictures with it. Um, they only have Hogsmeade at Universal Hollywood. So in
Okay.
Orlando, they have Hogsmeade and they have Diagon Alley. So Diagon Alley was where we have the dragon on the
Mm-hmm.
bank
Mm-hmm.
and Gringotts. Okay. I'm trying to explain this in terms that Jessica will understand.
Yeah, yeah. This I can get. I can grasp.
Okay. So we have the Hogsmeade where Hogwarts is. That's what we have
Great.
at Universal or Hollywood. They do have Flight of the Hippogriff, which is a fun ride for younger kids. It's like an introductory coaster type thing. And they have the Forbidden Journey, which is the Hogwarts ride.
Love it.
Okay. But they use the same interactive wands that you can use in Orlando, and you can cast spells throughout. They have the butterbeer you can try, frozen, warm, or regular. So lots of great things you can do there. And then after you finish that area, it's going to be getting close to closing probably if you've gone and worked
Okay.
your way up. And the one thing you have to do is you have to watch the Waterworld show, the stunt show.
Perfect.
It is amazing. It's towards the entrance, so I like to hit the very last show of the day. It has express pass entrance, so you don't have to line up super early to still get a decent seat. And real stunt people that have worked on real shows that you have watched, and they'll tell you who they are and what shows they've been on at the end of the event. They put on this show, and it's full of stunt work and pyrotechnics and lots of fun stuff. And it is a do not miss, in my opinion. It is
Yeah,
amazing.
this is stuff that you're not seeing live really anywhere else, these type of stunts. So I'm
Yes,
excited to get back into the action there.
yes.
It's like I said, it's been so long, and the last time I went there was several years ago, just with my husband. Our kids haven't been there since they were itty bitties, and I think with their ages now, they're so familiar with a vast amount of movies, both current and past films that they filmed there. It's going to be really fun to see those spots. And, I did mention Back to the Future, and that is part of the backlot tour. I know this. They've also filmed other movies in that same space. So sometimes they don't always mention the older movies. But I know I saw a clip from this anniversary tour that there will be a nod to Back to the Future there. So we're
Yes,
big
that is
fans. I'm
one
super excited.
they actually do mention it on every tour as long as you're going past that area. Actually, even if you're not, because there's another part where you can see the DeLorean. But
Nice.
yeah, it's amazing. We're kind of going over. It's a lot to cover. We'll have to do another episode another time.
Yeah, after we go, we'll see and give our report and how it
Yeah.
went.
But I just want to touch on, you talked about age. And so I do feel that this park is more for older children, probably starting at around 6 or 7. I took my twins, were 8 when we went, and they loved it. But if you get too young, then the only thing they really have to do is super silly funland area, like that kind of stuff, because a lot of it is more thrill rides and shows and Harry Potter, knowing Harry Potter, which has higher height requirements too. So definitely I wouldn't be taking my toddlers there, but as soon as they hit like that elementary school age and especially teenagers, it is a great park to add to your day. You really only need one day if you use the express pass and everything, but if not, Getaway
Perfect.
Today does also offer a 2-day ticket. Just know you're going to be in a lot of long lines if you do it that way without the express. And since they're
Okay.
about the same price, a
Ah,
2-day ticket or the one day with express, I personally would do the one day with express.
love it. That's what we're planning on, and we're gonna get that early access as well. I can't wait to make this happen. I also saw that they have refillable souvenir cups, so we will be getting those. It's gonna be great.
Yes, definitely. And make sure you get your huge donut from The Simpsons. They sell those really big donuts. That's another one to make sure you get. But we'll definitely have to add a few more episodes in about Universal in the future. But now, for now, we'll see you real soon back at Disneyland.